Hello and welcome. Good morning. It is, to use the scientific term, stupid o'clock in the morning. Why is it stupid o'clock in the morning, you ask? Well, number one, traffic, or the lack thereof, rush hour and the general queue at Dover, because, you know, new year, new rules. I'll get more into that later though. And number two, driving bans. As you know, same with the Florence video, France has a driving ban Saturday 10 PM to Sunday 10 PM. The UK and Spain are all right. Now, one website that I looked at said France also has a driving ban on Saturday from 7 AM to 6 PM, but every other website does not. Other than that, let's head on down to Dover and maybe give DFDS a go, since I've not used them before. Like last time when I went to Florence, I'm empty and I've got a curtain sider on, but today I'm heading down to Barcelona in Spain, so a completely different route from last time, which is good. And I'm specifically heading to a place called the Fira, which is the Spanish equivalent of the NEC. They've had a thing going on for the last month or so. The guy that took the lot down that I'm collecting is the only one that's gone down, unloaded and come back. There's another 5 guys that have gone down there, and their loads have just trickled off over the course of a couple of weeks, so they've all stayed down there for about a month or so. Now, as I said, new year, new rules. The biggest and most obvious one will be the UK customs rules are now in effect, and much the same as when the EU ones came in last year, it's complete chaos for the first couple of months. In theory, it should smooth out, just like the EU one. Whether it will smooth out quite as much, I don't know. We'll find out in due course. It's far from perfect though, because as I've got here, I've had to fill in and I've got to present a UK customs form, despite the fact that I'm completely empty. Other rules are more related towards truck drivers. It's an EU thing called the mobility package. I think it's aimed at curbing the behaviour of the Eastern European guys, because you now have to get paid the minimum wage of the country that you're working in. Whereas the Eastern European guys used to undercut everyone by coming over and working in Western Europe all the time, at like €4 an hour. They now have to get paid whatever the minimum wage is in the country they're in. Again, another curb is that the vehicle now has to return to its base once every 8 weeks, I think it was, 6 or 8 weeks. Again, that saves them from keeping the truck out in Western Europe the whole time. The guy does a 12-week stint, and then they just minibus a load of guys out, swap the drivers around and bring the old ones back, and the truck stays out permanently in Western Europe. Can't do that anymore. Neither of those really apply to me, certainly because we're not in the EU anymore. One that does apply to me is the new cabotage rules, and one of which is you now have to declare the country that you're in as soon as you cross the border, or a safer place as soon as you cross the border. I've read reports that people are pulling up on the hard shoulder as soon as they're crossing the border, which is not what you do. You wait until you find light services or something. Manual entry the country that you're in, and then you carry on. You've got 7 days to do 3 trips or whatever it is. That will change with time, because the new tacho is coming out in the summer, I think. That'll automatically log the GPS when you cross into a new country. Until we get trucks with that fitted, we've got a manual entry. Let's see how busy it is then, shall we? It looks pretty quiet. Cool. Oh dear. Pinot is very busy. I'll give DFDS a go and see what happens. And that is why we wanted to get down here early. join this queue here. Cool. Hi there. I'm empty. Calais, please. Okey-doke, thanks. See ya. Alright, I'm on the 8 o'clock ferry. DFDS tickets are a lot different to P&O ones. I'm looking at it. Lane 67 we want. Route DKK. I don't know if that's to Dunkirk. I did say Calais, but oh well. I've got an hour and a half until the ferry, so I'm going to have breakfast. And I don't usually come down this end of the port, so I'm going to assume that this half is DFDS and that half over there is P&O. So I normally always go down that end, be it on the buses or the trucks, and that's because I've always been with P&O. Hi.
Thank you. There you go, straight down, please.
Straight down, yeah. Okie doke, thanks.
Thank you.
That way. Green doors are way up. Okie doke. Stick that back on brake and enjoy the ride. I'm pretty sure we're going to Dunkirk.
It's bigger than ours. It's close.
Nous vous rappelons qu'il est interdit de fumer dans les trous garage. Le commandant et les membres d'équipage
Well, there we go. In Dunkirk. It's 2 hours to get to Dunkirk instead of the hour and a half to Calais, which is where I did ask to go. But I got a ticket to Dunkirk for some reason. It also puts me the wrong way up the road, and I want to go back down that way towards Spain. But hey, it's a new dock that I've never been to. I've got the green light, so I can just shoot on straight through and have a look around as well, get to know the place. Being gentlemanly and taking it in turns. Okay. We're off the boat. Cool. Where is the exit? La sortie. Where be? I'll follow this guy for now. There we go. Exit. Soy on the left. Cool. Customs round to the right there. Okay. Exit straight on. A16 straight on. That's what I want. Yeah, the road is not quite as big a capacity as it is at Calais. It's a little single carriageway. Whilst getting out the port is a lot quicker than Calais, getting to the motorway certainly isn't. It's taken quite a few minutes now. I think there are a couple of illegals trying to find somewhere to chance their luck. Back to where we should have been, Calais. So I'm going to do something I've never done before, which is, if I had come out of Calais, come out and turn right, down this way. I've gone as far as the next junction for the tunnel, but I've never gone beyond that. plan is to go to Rouen and cut across country to Chartres, cross country a bit more, and then pick up the A10 just a bit south of Paris. Made it to Rouen at last after 3 hours of driving. I was only expecting to be about 1.5 hours, but it turns out France is quite a large country and takes a while to drive across. 3.5 tons A150 this way. Cool. I don't quite know what road I want, but this is the way I had planned to go. They've redesigned that junction. That is not how that road is laid out on my map. But that's why you read the road signs and not blindly follow GPS. Orleans, that's where I'm heading. Yeah, the bit of the A10 that I'm joining is between Paris and Orleans. So follow signs for Orleans and we can't go wrong. You know, I'm wondering if this is the faster way to have gone, or slower, whichever. I'm pretty sure Google said it was about the same to Orleans from both directions, through Paris all the way that I'm going now. But it does make a difference from just cruising on the motorway all day, every day. Get to see a nice bit of the countryside that I would not have otherwise seen. Oh, we got something big. Piece of wind turbine section, okay. There goes that one. There goes the second one. The A10, we've made it! Hooray! I still can't believe that it's taken that long to get here. I thought we'd be here in about 3.5 hours from Calais. Wakey wakey toll box. It's not like I've even dropped that much mileage. I've done 8 hours 37 minutes of driving and I've covered 400 miles in that time, so I can't believe that it would be that much different in distance. Instead of going across and then down to Paris, I went down and then across. It's just opposite sides of a square. Yeah. We'll find out on the return journey. 10 minutes of driving left. I'm going to call it a day here. There better be spaces, so I don't really have time to get anywhere else. Now it's full up. That's annoying. Spaces here? No. That's a problem. I'm going to try my sneaky little trick that I did last time. Pull off at a slip road and then park at the top. Don't mind me. Park on the edge here. Did we get away with it? Or did we go 1 minute over? Oh, got it just. 15 hours dead on. It's clocked a minute of rest at 1 minute past 6. Oh, that's as tight as you want it. It's technically a 9-hour rest break tonight, but there's no need to get up at the stupid o'clock, so instead of getting up at the stupid o'clock, I'll get up around 5, 6. so there's no need to rush tonight. Anyway, have dinner, go to bed, that's about it. Nothing else around here that I can do. Couldn't get a space in the services, but there we go. I thought I parked up here last night quite late, but about 2-3 hours after I got here, it was rammed. There was trucks everywhere. Behind me, even more in the parking area, this one that's in front of me now, and some others that have gone. There's a few more down that way, there's less there now. Even someone did a trailer swap here last night as well. But today, according to Google, it is 869 kilometers from this parking spot to Barcelona, or 539 miles. In theory, that is possible. Realistically, well, I've tried several times to crack 500 miles and failed every time so far. So unless I perform a miracle today, I should make it to Spain, but I probably ain't going to make it to Barcelona. Once this truck goes past, I'm going to see if I can be sneaky and chuck a Yui here. That saves me driving up the road and back. Save a few minutes. Nobody coming. So straight out the parking, straight on the motorway. Maximum speed almost immediately. We go straight on the motorway with only 1 minute of driving under the belt. This road now goes all the way to the coast. It turns into the A75 at some point, but you don't have to turn off or go around any junctions or anything like that. And then once we hit the coast, the signs for Barcelona should start appearing, if I remember correctly. If not, follow signs for Perpignan. Look at this, 7:30 in the morning, no traffic at all. But in the UK, come 5 o'clock in the morning, oof, traffic everywhere. Come 7:30, you've got full-blown gridlock, rush hour, or incredibly dense traffic, slow most of the time. Here we are, 7:30 in the morning in France, hardly any vehicles on the road. Most of them that are on the road, the trucks. There it is, Palau Viaduct. Boom, there we go, on the old Palau Viaduct. For however long it was, I didn't look at the sign. There we go, back on terra firma. Winding our way down the mountainside that we've been up, like a high plateau type thing, for ages and ages now. And it suddenly started to descend quite quickly. It's a bit annoying for the car drivers because trucks are only allowed to do 50 k's down here, and they can do 70, but there's roadworks. But they've conveniently ended. So I'm now about to get overtaken by 4 cars in quick succession. So there's where we're descending down to, coming out of the valley. Erdina Bon Vinacen. 7 hours just done. Full in here. Have another 45-minute break. And then the last 3 hours. Is this a monument to why you should be careful? I got hit in the back pretty hard. Squeeze it in here if we can. So far, I'm on 383 miles, and I've got just under 3 hours of driving left. And might, as long as we don't hit any traffic, which there isn't usually, I don't think. Depends on the border. There has been roadworks around that quite consistently, but that was 3 years ago I last crossed that border, so it could be different by now. So the guy in the truck next to me said somebody was in my truck, but nothing's missing. Like even obvious stuff, like the iPad's on show, the cameras are on show, but nothing's gone missing. So I don't quite know what to believe. Yeah, look. There's footmarks. I'm pretty sure I locked it. How did they get in? That door's unlocked. Yeah, and there was mud marks down there. What? What is going on? Somebody breaks into your truck, but doesn't take nothing. He says it's a white truck that's in the bit behind me, but I literally can't see nothing missing. Why would you climb into a truck, through and out that door, and not do anything or take anything? Well, he thought he could get away with it, but after a bit of high searching, I found that I'm in possession of an AS-24 and a shell card that belongs to Polska Witold Witra and Meskens Win BVBA. So I don't know if it's a ploy that he's been pulling for some time, nicking people's fuel cards and switching them out with others. But luckily he only did it about 3/4 of an hour ago. And we're cancelling them now. In theory, you can't get too much fuel out of us. But thank God that's all he was interested in, because I've got a lot of stuff in here that could have gone missing. That's mine. That's mine. And both of those are mine. What annoys me most is about shystery behaviour like that is it's another driver. We all know how hard the job is, and then you go and dick your fellow drivers over like that. The speed at which he done it, I can only assume he saw that my hazard lights didn't flash. I could have sworn I heard it lock. So here we are, we've crossed the border. We're now into Spain. But a long way from being out of the danger zone. Really, you need to get down to pretty much get down to Barcelona. 5 k's to the next service station, so that's where I'll stop to do my manual entry. And then after that, I've got just under 2 hours to keep going. There we go, stopping here. Not that bit then. Stop here. So what do we want? Menu, entry, driver 1, begin country, find where E for España. Yes, okay. Catalunya, okay. Entry stored. So until the GPS ones come in, that's what you've got to do. So when you're in Spain, if you look at this sign here, AP7 and A2. So if it's AP, it's autopista, which is a toll road. And if it's just an A, it's an non-toll road, but it's still a motorway. Same as France and Italy, it's all the gantry things, the little booths that you have to drive through, and it runs off of the EU Telepass Go box. So you've seen what the others are like. The markings on the floor are slightly different, the layout's slightly different, as they all are, but it's the same thing. Hey, just gone through 500 miles. Finally managed it. I've got 47 minutes of drive time left. I don't know how much of that I'm going to use, because I've just passed the services and that was rammed. Like the official spaces and the unofficial spaces were all taken. So I'm going to have to start pulling in every single services and see if I can find someone. And I keep seeing a few of these little areas. I've only got just over half-hour driving left. So rather than risk the services being full, I'll squeeze myself in here. Fingers crossed no one steals me fuel overnight. Oh, there's a gap right up there. At least I'm not going to be the first truck they see. Oh dear, a flipped car with most of the bottom bits missing. Okay. It's not a services again, but given the fact that the last couple of services I've seen have been ram-packed, and I'm getting close on driving time now, I think I'd rather go for the guaranteed parking spot with less facilities than try and get somewhere with facilities. But there we go. And that is a record, 512.8 miles. Still nowhere near the buses though. So 825. 872, okay. Still quite a way off. But yeah, this bit between Montpellier and Barcelona is terrible. And again, on the buses, Barcelona and Rome were the top two places that stuff got stolen. In the nightclubs, phones were always getting pickpocketed in Barcelona. I think there's one night we had about 3 or 4 phones go missing. Again, Rome was another one. There's notorious. You stayed in these permanently erected tents, but they were located at the edge of the campground, and behind that you had this nice little alleyway with a little brick wall and a hedge, and then behind that was the road, and you'd regularly get people hopping over the hedge, sneak down into the little alleyway, no one can see them. At the back of the tents was a nice little mesh grill thing, so along the bottom, up the side, nice little flap, in you go. And 2 people's bags disappeared one night from one of my groups, and one of them was this lovely Australian girl. She'd literally just joined the trip the day before, and it's like, oh, my bag's gone, my passport and everything was in it. Sorry, we can't take you, that's it, trip over, day 2. Well, technically day 1, because it was day 0, the joining day. Suspiciously, maybe, they said to the police, oh, some bags have gone missing, and it's, oh, we just happened to find some about 30 minutes ago before you came here. It was, oh, funny that. And apparently they'd been found literally 50 yards away from the tents up the road. Again, important stuff, passport, that was in the bag, clothes and various other bits. It's just the valuables that have gone, like electronics, cameras. Anyway, I won't leave you hanging. She did manage to get her bag, it had the passport in. We worked something out. She got the train from Rome to Ancona, got the bus round to the ferry port, and just before the ferry left, we picked her up and she did manage to get her trip. Save of the trip. That was all. That was good. She did manage to get to do it. Paid all that money to come from Australia. Day 1 of the trip, your bag's gone. Morning. Guess who didn't get any sleep last night? Because they were on edge the whole time. Yes, Costa del Crime strikes again. So if it wasn't bad enough that I had my space invaded and fuel cards stolen, I parked up here last night, thinking parking towards the front would be fine. It got dark, kept looking around, not much going on. Cool, draw the curtains, and then within the 2 to 3 hour window between doing that and going to bed, I had a quick walk round. I thought, open the back doors just so everyone can see it's empty, and within that time someone's come along and slashed a hole down towards the back on the driver's side. We'll see how that holds up. These angle mortar stickers are usually pretty sticky. This grey stuff's not very sticky though, everything's having a bit of a hard time. But hopefully there's enough holding on to it. Alright, let's do the last little bit. Down to Muksu, secure parking. And then I can park up for 2 days and have a mental breakdown and cry. It's holding up for the moment. Typical. 5 minutes down the road, secure truck park. Look at that. Fence, cameras, the lot. Oh well, we know for next time now. B23, Afira. Cool. Yeah, I've got to Barcelona and not passed through a single toll booth. So I don't know if they're out of action or something, or they're slowly getting rid of them. So this is us now, we're in town. Just a few more minutes to go. Is this direction obligado camions? Why can I not go straight down? That's what I'd prefer to do. Don't see a reason why you can't. Looks like there's no truck straight ahead there as well, and can't turn left. Gonna have to turn right back to the road we were literally just on. 7.5, yeah. No left turns. Down this way then, it's the only way we can go. No trucks that way. Everything's no trucks. 22 to 6, okay. So no trucks during the night, but I can go down in now. Parking Muksu. So I should be booked in here for 2 days. Where that booking occurs, I don't know. Who knows why, but that's apparently the place to park. I'll leave that on work for the moment, see what I'm all about. See this guy. And try and work it all out. Don't know really what more I'm going to get up to in terms of videoing. This kind of brings, in theory, part 1, depending on how much I've overfilmed, which is a lot, and whether I can edit it down into something usable. So if nothing else happens after this, I'll see you in part 2, heading down to the Fera.